Good evening, I'm the Game Tutor, and tonight I'm going to be comparing multiplayer first-person classic Quake 3 Arena with Quake Live, which is the free-to-play updated version, if you like, which is largely based on the original Quake 3 experience. Now let me start by saying that I'm in general not an FPS gamer, as you probably well know, and therefore, as you will see in these videos, my skills is hardly legendary. But either way, I'm going to look at the differences between the two, give you my general thoughts as we proceed. Now, the last time that I genuinely enjoyed a competitive online FPS was actually back in the days of Quake 3 and Unreal Tournament. I've since played a bit of Unreal Tournament 3, but I do not think there are many games out there that really capture that pure feeling that the games of that era achieved. I'm a big fan of Loadout, which needless to say is a new PvE section that I may take a look at in an upcoming video. And also, due to the sheer speed of Quake, it is very tricky for me to put both games split screen. So I'm going to look at one and then look at the other. So, firstly, Quake 3. Now, back in the day, one of the best things about Quake 3 was how well it ran. At the time, it was about the only brand new game that you didn't need a brand new PC to run, and it scaled very well. Now, while this is commonplace in games now, at the time this was not the case, and therefore this alone was got me interested. But needless to say, it still looks pretty reasonable today. There are some issues with getting it to run natively on widescreen monitors, but this is doable with a few patches. Quake 3 Arena is fast, fun and frantic, and still holds up today as a fast-paced arena shooter. It's got a great selection of weapons and a greater selection of maps. But there is something that's a bit of an issue. In this day and age, the servers of Quake 3 are unfortunately deader than a dodo. So if you want to get your Quake 3 fix, you really only have one option: Quake Live. Now, up until a few days ago, Quake Live was only available as a browser-based game, and generally was not too far off from offering that Quake 3 experience with slightly updated graphics, improved netcode, and let's not forget the fantastic game mode that is Freeze Tag. But while the now move over to a Steam version, which has been in the last day or so, there's been a number of new additions that have divided the online Quake community. First and foremost is the existence of loadouts. Now, in the old game, you always started with a machine gun, and trying to grab a good weapon was part of the game experience. Now you can auto start with a pretty good weapon, but that does make recovering after a death much easier. Now, for an FPS baby like myself, this is a good addition, but for Quake veterans, this is something which changes the way the game plays. Another big addition is the ability to hold down space and constantly jump, which allows new players help in avoiding incoming fire, as well as an easy way to gain the strafe jump boost technique, which veterans players have been doing easily for years. Now, I for one welcome these additions and feel that they help the game, especially for newcomers, but for Quake diehards, I can see why this would stir the pot, perhaps in the wrong directions. It is worth noting that the hardcore fans can still choose to play with these settings turned off, but finding free servers online with the original old school settings is hard. But then again, I do expect the real hardcore fans will buy the Quake Live subscription and generally be done with it. Now, as of writing, Quake Live is well populated with a lot of people playing, and you should be able to find a game and jump in straight away. Graphically, it's far superior to the original, but you would expect that for a new release. It does still contain the same feel, albeit at a slightly higher and wider resolution. So, is Quake Live worth playing? Well, yes it is, especially if you were really into Quake 3 back in the day and feel like reliving some past experiences. It really does hit that nail on the head. New things aside, which really help it, are still populated by excellent players, and complete newbies jumping in will still find their asses handed to them on a plate. But this is always going to be the way with a long-running game. So, go and grab Quake Live on Steam, give it a go, and leave your comments on what you think about the differences between the two below. Good night, everyone. Night night, Andy. If you've enjoyed tonight's video, please like and subscribe. Remember to come and check us out at thegametutor.co.uk, where news, articles and videos are updated on a weekly basis. Also, please check us out on Twitter, Facebook and Dailymotion.